Testing, bitch. Testing.
Amanita Muscaria is one of the most interesting mushrooms I know about. Also known as the Fly Agaric, this is a mushroom that most people think is poisonous.
They'd be right.
Well, kind of. You see, if you prepare this mushroom just right, it can actually be a profound psychoactive experience. Now, I would give you some nerdy background, but I don't think it's safe to release the autism version of me from its bindings just yet. Mushrooms. Now, I don't actually have a gun, so I just use the power of communism. Anyways, Amanita muscaria is a species of mushroom in the Amanita genus of the Amanita section, distributed throughout North America and Europe. These species are both psychoactive and toxic, though not in the ways you'd think. Within this genus are several subsections of mushrooms, the most common of which being the muscarioids, pantherinoids, and gematoids. Within the muscarioids is the classic red and white Fly Agaric, which is the main species we'll be talking about today, as well as Amanita regalis, or the royal Fly Agaric. Now, the muscarioids in Europe are technically different from those in North America. You can kind of tell because the colors are not quite the same. The North American varieties tend to be more orange or yellow, and the European varieties are usually more red, though it obviously varies. Pantherinoids are much stronger than the muscarioids. Amanita pantherina, or the panther cap, is the most prominent species in this subsection, being similar in appearance to muscaria, except being a kind of pale gray color with very bright white spots. Gematoids are less known about, and some people consider them to be part of the pantherinoids, but there is evidence showing that they are separate. Amanita gemata is the key species in this section, being almost yellow in color. Amanita mushrooms are mycorrhizal, meaning that they grow in a symbiotic relationship with other plants. In this case, they grow near trees such as birch and conifers. Now, what exactly does Amanita even do to you? Amanita mushrooms are psychoactive, containing several different compounds, including ibotenic acid and muscimol. These compounds are very different from what you might expect from, say, psilocybin mushrooms, and depending on the ratio between these two compounds, you'll get very different effects. The dosage also affects the experience massively. In lower amounts, it feels a bit like alcohol, but more subdued. You'll be slightly floaty, your mind feels a bit detached, like your thoughts just drift around. You're also going to feel pretty sedated or chilled out. The more you take, the more intense these feelings become. With slightly higher amounts, your vision and perception starts to change, kind of similar to a DXM trip if you know what that's like. The world looks zoomed out, and your body feels very big and very small at the same time. And now the floatiness in your mind is going to be much stronger. Your thoughts start to loop in on themselves.
Pickle? Pickle, nah, man.
What
Pickle, no
pickle?
good.
One with lady
Pickle,
on it?
no good. Pickle?
You might also start experiencing muscle twitches and a bit of nausea. It's very trippy, and if you're not prepared, it can be pretty uncomfortable. If you take even more, it becomes a deliriant. Yeah, like Benadryl or Datura. I've never taken these amounts, but from trip reports that I've seen, it can be absolutely terrifying. People experience complete ego death, rebirth of consciousness, dissolution of themselves and the world around them, endless thought loops, interactions with incomprehensible beings, going to heaven or hell and back. At this point, you're going to be experiencing visuals, though they're reportedly quite different from those from psilocybin, being a lot more jagged and chaotic. Now, at this point, you're likely going to experience the toxic effects of these compounds too. These can include muscle spasms, convulsions, vomiting, and even entering a coma-like state for multiple days. Sounds like a lot of fun. So why the hell does this happen? The two main compounds in Amanita muscaria are ibotenic acid and muscimol. Ibotenic acid is an amino acid and glutamate receptor agonist most strongly on the NMDA receptors. It also seems to have stimulant-like effects, giving you a mild buzz. There is also evidence it's a brain lesioning agent, but not enough to cause any damage in normal doses. It's also neurotoxic in a similar way to alcohol and can cause vomiting, convulsions, muscle spasms, and rarely brain damage. Once ingested, ibotenic acid gets converted into muscimol, the other most abundant compound, making ibo the prodrug to muscimol. Muscimol is the compound associated with most of Amanita muscaria's effects, being a GABA-A receptor agonist, though quite differently from alcohol or benzodiazepines. Muscimol is what's called an orthostatic agonist, meaning it directly binds with GABA receptors, replacing the endogenous enzymes. Whereas GABA drugs like benzos bind with non-active sites, indirectly affecting uptake of GABA. At least I think that's how it works. In smaller amounts, Amanita mushrooms also contain bufotenin and muscarine. Bufotenin, also known as 5-hydroxydiphenhydramine. Diphenhydramine? Benadryl? No. Bufotenin, also known as 5-hydroxydimethyltryptamine, or 5-HODMT. Bufotenin, also known as 5-hydroxydimethyltryptamine, or 5-HODMT, is an extremely powerful psychedelic in the tryptamine class. It's found in very small amounts in Amanita muscaria, and could actually contribute to the psychedelic effects in higher doses. If this compound sounds familiar, that's because it's actually found in other things too, including the toad Inculus alvarius, aka bufo. It's present in bufo along with the main active compound 5-MeO-DMT, which is the most powerful psychedelic ever discovered. As well as this, muscaria contains trace amounts of muscarine, a poisonous compound which agonizes the muscarinic receptors. These control things like the parasympathetic nervous system and the sweat glands. This may be why you sweat a lot when you're on muscaria. Another notable compound that interacts with these same receptors is scopolamine, the active compound in Jimson weed, aka datura. Now, I know it's not really relevant, but I just thought it was cool. It's all connected. Not all Amanita mushrooms are like this though. Some species are actually extremely dangerous. For example, Amanita phalloides, or for a name that you can take seriously, the death cap, is an Amanita species containing amatoxins and is the most deadly mushroom ever discovered. These toxins basically shut down your liver and kidneys and kill you. So just be aware of what you're picking. Speaking of which, let's go find some muscaria.
Mushroom time, mushroom time. There's some really cool ones right out here. Maybe they're still here. They're still here. Look. These. Oh, somebody knocked over this one. What? This one was gonna be so good. These are called shaggy parasols. And they're gonna get more like this as they age. They're actually edible. There is one that looks kind of like them that is not edible and is in fact poisonous, and they're quite cool. They're very pretty. And they look even better once they're fully grown because they get really big. They're actually one of the largest species I've seen around here. Just got myself an energy drink and some dried fruit because I got about 20 hours of sleep in the last day due to a mixture of staying up all night and Suboxone treatments. Check it out. We got some puffballs. Look at these guys. They're beautiful. So I found an Amanita, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. This is most likely Amanita fulva. You can tell. This is what it looks like. It looks like big. It is edible, but it's not what we're looking for today. Very beautiful mushroom though. Well, I took a wrong turn and ended up in a construction zone, so we're going back. This is the weirdest place to find them. What? I just found Amanita. Well, here they are. Amanita Muscaria. Just sitting here in a fucking field. Wow, they're beautiful. Hi. Holy shit. So we're almost to my spot, but I decided to take a tiny detour, and guess what? More Amanita Muscaria. Look at that. That's a beautiful mushroom. That one too, but they're both a little bit eaten into, so I might have to just grab the cap off this one, maybe leave this one, honestly. Just saw these on the side of the trail. Very pretty. Not gonna touch them though. Oh my god. Holy shit. Jackpot? Fucking jackpot? Holy shit. Hi. Oh my god. Okay, this is beautiful. Holy shit. Hi, everyone. I'm gonna take whoever I can, okay? Just past these containers is a magical world of beautiful mushrooms, hopefully. There was quite a few last time, so let's see. Oh, I already have a couple. Good sign. Not what we're looking for though. We already have a pretty full bag, so even if we don't find any here, we're pretty much set. That'll make a decent amount of tea. Here we are. Oh, this place is fucking magical. Oh, look at that. That is an Amanita. Ooh. Oh, you're pretty. Check this out. Holy shit. Wow. Hi. You guys are fucking beautiful. Looks like Amanita regalis. Be my guess. Probably not Pantherina. Pantherina's a little less saturated. So, yep, guessing regalis. These guys are stronger than Muscaria, so even better, actually. We'll probably make a separate tea with these. Oh, yep. There they are. Okay, and there's a fuck ton of them. This is amazing. Best day of my life, probably. Okay, let me harvest these, and honestly, I think our bag is getting kind of full, so I'll look a little bit more, but I don't think I can fit that many more. This has been extremely successful. think I see more. Holy shit. Hi. This is what the babies look like. I'm gonna leave this one just because, you know, why not? But yeah, and there's multiple. I'm gonna leave them. Maybe they'll grow into full ones by next week, and then I have a whole new batch. This should last me a long time though. This is a lot of mushrooms. There are some birds going crazy over there. Ooh, this bag's getting quite heavy actually. This might be like a kilogram of mushrooms. Thankfully this is legal, so it's not like I'm going to jail forever for this. But yeah, we are doing excellent. I thought we would not get this much today. I was actually thinking, oh, maybe I'll find like one, maybe not even any, but nope. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Beautiful, but kind of dirty. Some of these might actually be salvageable though. I might grab a couple, maybe just the caps of this one, maybe this really big one. That's a lot of meat I could be using. That's the largest Amanita mushroom I have ever seen. It is wider than my hand, by far. I cannot believe it. I cannot take these. I literally don't have space in the bag, and I don't have another bag. So there's also more over here. Also some nice big ones. I'm sorry guys, can't take you. There's so many. I was walking home and I just saw these. I have no idea what the fuck they are. If anybody knows, let me know. But we're getting home with our nice big bag. So, see you soon. So, here's everything. We have a lot of mushrooms. I'm starting to put them in the oven now to get dried, which is the first step in making tea. So, yeah, we will see. It is the next day, and it looks like, and also based on the smell, stuff is drying up nicely. So we're almost ready to make tea, I think. Yeah, mushrooms. So many mushrooms. So here we have all of our muscaria, and here we have all of our regalis. Okay, so now I weigh everything on this tiny scale. Whoa. So, muscaria, regalis, lemon, and help, help, help. And we have one big pot of water, one small pot of water. We are going to cut these up a little bit, and we're gonna get this lemon, and I'll probably do most of it in this one and then like a little bit in that one, and then we'll see if we have a beautiful Amanita tea. I measured it out. This is about 83 grams. I haven't measured this one yet. I'll put that on screen how much this is, but with 83 grams that's a decent amount. For a dose is probably 2 to 3 grams for like a full dose, but I'm not really the type to do full doses. I'm really here to microdose, so I might do like a gram each. So that's 83 doses worth of Amanita there, so I'll probably have to freeze it, but yeah, mushroom.
Smell fucking terrible, and it's gonna get worse when the tea is being made. The taste is almost as bad as kava, I'd say. It's a very different taste. I mean, it tastes like a rotten mushroom, honestly. It's pretty bad, but if you mix it up with some orange juice, it's not too bad. Yummy. Lemon juice. Just put that in. And then we apply heat, we bring it to a boil, and then a simmer for about an hour and a half. Now, if you're wondering why I'm adding a lemon juice and why it's such a specific amount of time, it's because we're actually decarboxylating the ibotenic acid in the mushroom, because ibotenic acid can be toxic and it can make you very nauseous. So when you decarboxylate, which by simmering in low pH liquid, it basically converts the ibotenic acid into muscimol. So it's not only more potent, but it's less toxic. The tea is done. So it's been going for about an hour and a half, and as you can see, oh god, okay, it's fucking disgusting. I'm going to put it in a container. Do this, and yeah, then we will try it. Tea's done. We've got about 950 milliliters, so about a liter of Muscaria tea. Amazing. Disgusting, but amazing. And then we have about 300 milliliters of Amanita Regalis tea. So, this is it. Well, technically this is orange juice with a small amount of the liquid mixed in, but close enough. Now, I can't know for sure if I did this right or if it's going to send me into the shadow realm, but what the hell. I don't really feel anything. Yeah, it's basically as I described it. I feel mildly tranquilized. What does it mean to be alive? Existence is a prison. I will never live to see a world worth living in. My tummy hurts. Ow. My mind is floaty, but also kind of heavy, and my thoughts are just slow. For me, it starts to die down after 3 to 4 hours, but on higher doses, it can last for days. Now, in the past, I have fucked up the preparation. It was much stronger, longer lasting, and made me throw up until I was dry heaving and drenched in sweat. So, Muscaria isn't just fun and games. It does actually have uses. While there isn't much research being done into the actual applications of muscimol, anecdotal evidence, aka Reddit threads, show that it can be very useful for getting off GABA drugs like benzos or alcohol. This is because while it does interact with the same receptors, it does so in a way that isn't nearly as dangerous or habit-forming. And given how deadly benzo and alcohol withdrawal can be, this could potentially save lives. The reason I became interested in it was its anxiolytic effects. It reduces anxiety considerably, while being much safer than, say, Xanax or Valium. If prepared correctly, in higher doses, some people get the same kind of profound experience they would from, say, psilocybin, and use it as a way to navigate difficult times. Using it like this is a lot riskier, because Amanita Muscaria is a deliriant, not a psychedelic, making it way more unpredictable. If you don't know the difference, deliriants are basically the evil version of psychedelics. Trips are intense, unpredictable, and make you lose the ability to know what's real or not. If you want to trip on Muscaria, start very low and slowly raise your dose so you get comfortable with how it feels. It's very unique, and it can be really distressing if you're not prepared. There is limited evidence that muscimol is physically habit-forming, but obviously mental addiction is always a factor, and you should treat it with respect like any other substance. Don't fuck around with hallucinogenics, or you might end up spending 10,000 years as a doorknob. Thank you once again for listening to my ramblings. I recorded this video over the course of like 4 months, so excuse the sudden appearance and scene shifts. If you want more like this, just let me know. And to leave you, here's a very cool frog.